December 1944. The Ardennes Forest, a landscape blanketed in snow and fog, becomes the stage for one of World War II's most desperate gambles. The Battle of the Bulge. Hitler throws his last reserves into a surprise offensive, aiming to split the Allied forces and seize the crucial port of Antwerp. The initial German assault is a brutal success, creating a massive bulge in the American lines. At the heart of this bulge lies a small Belgian town, a critical crossroads named Bastogne. Holding this town is the U.S. 101st Airborne Division. The Screaming Eagles rushed to the front with little more than the weapons they could carry. They find themselves completely surrounded, outnumbered, and pounded by German artillery. The weather is atrocious. Freezing temperatures, constant snow, and a thick fog ground all Allied air support. Supplies of food, medicine, and ammunition are dwindling dangerously low. It's a grim, desperate situation. The German commander sends a surrender ultimatum to the encircled Americans. The message is clear: surrender honorably, or face total annihilation. The acting commander of the 101st, Brigadier General Anthony McAuliffe, receives the message. His response would become one of the most famous replies in military history. He sends back a one-word answer: nuts. This single word electrifies his men. It's a defiant roar that says, "We will not break. We will not surrender." The Screaming Eagles dig in, fighting with everything they have, holding the line against overwhelming odds. Meanwhile, 75 miles to the south, one of the most audacious and controversial figures of the war, General George S. Patton, is in a meeting with the Allied High Command. As others discuss strategies that might take weeks to implement, Patton makes a shocking claim. He declares he can turn his Third Army, which is currently engaged in a completely different battle, pivot 90 degrees, and march north to relieve Bastogne. His superiors are skeptical. Such a maneuver is considered a logistical nightmare, especially in the dead of winter. It would involve moving over 100,000 men and thousands of vehicles across icy, treacherous roads. Patton, ever confident, promises he can attack in just 48 hours. This wasn't just bravado. Patton, anticipating a German counteroffensive, had already secretly ordered his staff to draft 3 separate plans for turning the Third Army north. He was a master of logistics and aggressive warfare, and he was prepared. The moment he gets the green light, he unleashes the full might of his planning and will. It is an operation of breathtaking scale and speed. The Red Bull Express, the famous Allied supply convoy system, goes into overdrive. Thousands of trucks, tanks, and artillery pieces begin a relentless, non-stop trek northward, through the bitter cold. The roads are sheets of ice. Visibility is near zero. Drivers are pushing themselves to the brink of exhaustion. It's a race against time, a colossal feat of military movement that had never been attempted on this scale before. In Bastogne, the situation for the 101st is dire. They're fighting for every street, every house. Medical supplies are gone. The wounded are treated in a makeshift church, with dwindling resources. The cold is as much an enemy as the Germans. Frostbite is rampant. Yet, their morale, fueled by McAuliffe's defiant stand, remains unbroken. They know help is coming. They just have to hold on. They can hear the distant rumble of Patton's tanks, a promise of salvation rolling through the frozen forests. Patton is not just directing from a distant headquarters. He's a whirlwind of motion, constantly at the front, urging his men forward. He is everywhere, a force of nature in his polished helmet and ivory-handled pistols, roaring encouragement and demanding the impossible. He famously orders a chaplain to write a prayer for good weather, so his air support can finally fly. The prayer is distributed to every man in the Third Army. Then, a miracle. On December 23rd, the fog and clouds that had shrouded the battlefield for days finally begin to break. The sky's clear. Patton's prayer is answered. A wave of C-47 transport planes roars over Bastogne, dropping desperately needed supplies. The sight of parachutes blossoming in the sky is a massive morale boost for the defenders. More importantly, the clear weather unleashes the Allied air forces. P-47 Thunderbolts, the feared Jobos, descend upon the German armored columns, wreaking havoc and slowing their advance. With air cover secured, Patton's ground forces press their attack with renewed ferocity. The 4th Armored Division, the spearhead of Patton's Third Army, fights a brutal, grinding battle to break through the German ring surrounding Bastogne. The final push is relentless. On the day after Christmas, December 26th, the lead tanks of the 4th Armored Division finally smash through the German lines and link up with the defenders of Bastogne. The siege is broken. When Patton's forces arrive, Tayfind, they screaming eagles, battered and exhausted, but unbowed. They had held a crucial crossroads, disrupting the German timetable and bleeding the enemy's armored divisions. Their heroic defense, combined with Patton's audacious relief effort, was the turning point in the Battle of the Bulge. The German offensive stalls, its momentum shattered. From this point on, the German army in the west would be in constant retreat until the final day of the war. The relief of Bastogne is a testament to two different kinds of heroism. There's the stubborn, gritty endurance of the 101st Airborne, who held their ground against impossible odds, a symbol of sheer defensive tenacity. And then there's the dynamic, aggressive brilliance of George S. Patton, a general who moved armies like chess pieces and refused to accept that something was impossible. Together, their actions created one of the most iconic victories of World War II. It's a story of courage, defiance, and the incredible power of will in the face of overwhelming adversity. Thank you for watching. If you found this story of heroism inspiring, please hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel for more tales from history, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video.